filming from a public into a private space. Is that permitted?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely not.
Of course it is.
So you can stand on my road and film me in my home, can you?
If your curtains are open, then legally, yes, I can.
So.
Okay, so PTTP is here in Stamford. Stamford Police Station. So it does look like it has an open inquiry office. Looks like a very small station, mind you. They've literally got 2 cars and 1 van. So yeah, it does look like a very small station. They do have signage saying no unauthorised persons or vehicles beyond this point. Users of this car park do so at their own risk, and management will not accept responsibility for damage, accident or loss.
This is where these encounters usually go wrong. Filming from a public place isn't suspicious, but the camera changes everything. Notice how no law has been broken, no line crossed, yet attention is already escalating. Ask yourself, if this were just a person standing here without a camera, would 4 officers be coming out? 4 officers for 1 compliant cameraman. That matters. Policing should be proportionate, and when numbers increase without cause, it can feel more like pressure than protection. The law doesn't require you to justify lawful activity, and being uncomfortable isn't a legal threshold.
So yeah, that's interesting. Do have 1 vehicle idling in the background over there, with somebody at the wheel. Looks like a female PC at the wheel there. But yeah, so potentially. Hiya, you're right. No, just having a look around, really, doing some photography. So, nothing to worry about.
You shouldn't be photographing the police cars and things.
Pardon?
Ideally, you shouldn't be photographing them.
Why not?
Because it's like security.
I mean, it's a police car. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's nothing to worry about. Just.
You take a picture anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it says I've seen signs, so I'm not going past there. But yeah. All right. That's all. There we go. So we've got 1 coming out. Stopping. Interesting.
Hi there.
You right?
So Josh, what are you doing?
Pardon?
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Why are you filming?
Because it's a police car.
How come you're here?
Pardon?
How come you're here?
I can't hear you very well.
How come you're filming here?
To get shots of the police car. I mean, that's all. So is there a problem?
I'd rather you weren't on police property.
I mean, I haven't gone past your signs that restrict access. I haven't gone past into that area. But nothing to worry about. Who are you, sorry?
And PC 283 Reeve.
283 Reeve. Thank you.
The officer approaches and asks what the problem is. The cameraman calmly explains he hasn't gone past the signage restricting access. She identifies herself as PC Reeve and seems uncertain about what to do next. Moments later, an inspector and additional officers emerge. 4 officers now surround 1 person with a camera. The photographer points out the intimidation factor. 4 uniformed personnel for someone standing in a public area. When you're lawfully present and compliant, deployment of multiple officers can feel disproportionate. The inspector begins questioning his intentions, and the tension is only starting to build.
Bizarre.
Hello.
Hiya.
Are you doing a news piece?
Pardon?
Are you doing a news piece?
Just having a look at your cars now, really. Just saw this PC was idling up there, and I figured she was going to be coming out in a second. So, yeah, just waiting for. Oh my days! Hang on, so we got An inspector?
Yeah, I'm
a PC?
Yeah.
PC? Inspector?
If you do
So we've got 4 police officers for a man with a camera.
Right.
But sorry, it's quite intimidating, isn't it? Having 4 people come out.
There's private vehicles there as well as vehicles that are unmarked.
Sure, but
I'm just wondering what your purpose
but it's quite
is.
intimidating having 4 officers come out and accost somebody with a camera.
You're here on police premises.
Yeah, but like 4 people.
We need to
really?
establish whether there's a security issue.
Okay.
So, do you want to talk to me about what you're here for? I've got no issue with you filming, but as I've said, there's private vehicles.
Yeah,
And there's
it's not my intention to get those. If they're in the background of a shot, they're in the background of a shot. But I'm not here to.
I'm not doing a news piece. Do you want an interview? I'll talk to you if you'd like to have an interview.
Not particularly. No, just want to have a look around. That's all. Just like to look around.
I saw you obviously trying to walk around there, so I was just wondering.
You should be careful with the information that you say like that, because I wasn't trying to walk around there at all. I was stood there for a good 4 minutes watching you in your vehicle, and I saw the sign saying no unauthorised access. So don't tell me that I was trying to walk places where I wasn't. Be careful with things like that.
Have you got the footage that you need?
I'm not sure yet, to be honest.
Okay, but I'd like you to leave, because as I've said, there are private vehicles there. That you've got some footage. You've got enough. There's nothing.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the footage that I was getting was actually interrupted.
This is a crucial moment. When an officer inaccurately describes your actions, calmly correcting the record on camera protects you. Notice how the narrative is shifting, not from evidence, but from feelings. That's often the warning sign that legal footing is slipping. This is where emotion replaces law. Filming a vehicle in public does not become illegal just because someone claims ownership. Public space doesn't turn private based on personal discomfort, and announcing "that's my car" actually draws more attention to it.
By the PC stopping and coming out, but so I'll probably wait around to see if any more vehicles come in or out, see if I can get one on blue lights.
We didn't do that because, as I've said, there's private cars coming in and out. Officers don't want you recording them coming and going from duty because that presents a potential security risk.
Well, they shouldn't drive to work then, really, should they? If they're that concerned.
You have no business to film the private areas that are off limit to the public.
I have every business to film anything that's visible from a public area.
But my point is, you shouldn't be going up there, which is what you've done.
I haven't gone past the signage where your signage is. It doesn't say the signage. The signage is the signage here saying that I can't go further than this, or is the signage there saying I can't go further than there? My personal use, public interest.
Well, my personal vehicle is there, and I'm asking you, from me to you as a private individual, I'm not comfortable with you violating my personal space.
It's not your personal space. It's
my vehicle there, my private vehicle is there, and I'm not comfortable with you filming that.
Well, if you hadn't announced that it was your private vehicle, nobody would ever have known.
I'm telling you it is, so
no, you
I'm
are doing now.
You to stop. Yeah,
well, I'm not going to. It's in a public area.
In which case, you'll have to be removed to prevent the breach of the peace, because you are.
How am I breaching the peace? Do you know what the threshold is for breach of the peace?
You already have enough footage, so I'm asking you to leave.
Okay.
You're creating these officers aren't able to get on with their policing
I'm
duty.
not stopping them.
There are individuals, as I was, getting on with a matter that's of concern to the community.
The inspector insists officers don't want their private vehicles recorded as they arrive or leave duty. The cameraman responds that if they're concerned, perhaps they shouldn't drive personal cars to work. She then claims he's gone into areas off limits to the public. He again states he hasn't crossed the signage. The inspector announces her personal vehicle is there, and she's uncomfortable with him violating her personal space. Public filming from public areas generally doesn't constitute a violation of personal space. The inspector is now framing a lawful activity as a personal affront, and the justification for intervention is becoming increasingly emotional rather than legal.
And I've got an individual on police premises filming not only the police cars coming and going, but officers arriving for duty and leaving again. That causes me a concern.
So you're working on conjecture there, because I have specifically said that is not my intention.
I've said to you, you're causing me a concern. So I'd like you to leave.
Well, you're concerned. Do you police by your feelings in this country, or do you police by what the law is?
I'd like you to leave.
Do you police by what the law is, or do you police by?
I'm going to get the officers to take you away, because you are not.
Am I in a public place?
There are officers having private conversations about cases in the backyard of the police station.
Well, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be having that conversation in that sort of place.
But you shouldn't be there within the scope of being able to film them.
Do you know you can film anything you can see from a public place in the UK?
Okay.
Is this a public place?
This is a public place.
There you go. So if I can film it.
Let me put it a different way. If you stand at the end of my driveway at home, which is a public place, repairable at public expense, and you film into my window, is that acceptable?
Is this your home? Do you live here? Do you sleep here?
But these are private premises. Beyond this line here, you are filming from a public into a private space. Is that permitted?
Yes. Absolutely.
Absolutely not.
Of course it
No.
is.
So you can stand on my road and film me in my home, can you?
If your curtains are open, then legally, yes, I can.
So
The inspector says she's concerned because officers are having private conversations about cases in the backyard. The cameraman agrees they shouldn't be discussing confidential matters in earshot of the public. She pivots to a hypothetical. If he stood at the end of her home driveway filming into her window, would that be acceptable? He calmly explains this isn't her home, and he's filming from public into areas visible from public. Analogies comparing police stations to private homes generally fall short because official buildings operate under different transparency expectations. The legal framework is clear, but the inspector's frustration is escalating, and she's about to make a threat that crosses a serious line. In seconds, the inspector will threaten arrest under 2 different laws, and the cameraman's response will force her to either follow through or back down completely. Stay with us.
If I continue to do it repeatedly, then you could potentially take action about harassment. But at this point, I've been here once only, to come and get some footage that I want to.
just on footage for a couple of minutes and then you can leave.
No,
please.
you don't put a time. You don't put a time limit on my
I do put a
rights.
time limit on you, and
No.
I'm telling you.
Do you know what
now,
Article 10 is of the
you're-
Human Rights Act?
You are causing me personally harassment and alarm by filming here.
Go talk to Lord Justice Bean about it. The police have a much
You
higher
have 2 minutes
threshold.
to leave and then you're going to go.
No,
Otherwise
I'm
you'll
not.
Be arrested.
I'm not.
Sure you're-
Arrest me?
Yes,
You're going
be
to arrest me.
arrested.
You'll be hearing from my
Absolutely.
solicitors, and you'll be having a civil suit on your hands.
Okay,
Arrest me for what? What are you going to arrest me for?
You are causing a nuisance.
What are you going to arrest me for?
Either public nuisance or harassment.
Public nuisance.
Yeah.
So under the new legislation that came with a public. So
And you've got your opportunity to film.
So
I'd like you to not film or certainly delete anything that has details of my personal vehicle or that of any of the police officers there, and then I want you to go. All right?
you don't put a time limit on my rights.
From getting on with
No,
the
I'm exercising my rights here, and you don't put a time limit on that, Inspector. Inspector what? Blackwell? Thank you.
No, you all right with me? Yeah, go and do anything.
The inspector accuses the cameraman of causing her personal harassment and says he's going to leave. He asks if she's arresting him. She threatens arrest for either public nuisance or harassment. He immediately challenges her to do it, warning she'll face civil action if she proceeds unlawfully. Arrest requires reasonable grounds that specific offense thresholds are met. Feelings of discomfort generally don't suffice. She demands he delete footage of her personal vehicle and officers. He refuses, stating he's exercising his rights. Inspector Blackwell has painted herself into a corner, and the next few minutes will reveal whether her threats are real or hollow.
Yeah, see, I'm obviously not that much of a concern, because you're allowing them to go about their business, yet you're threatening to arrest me. Tyrants here at Stamford. Right guys, it's exactly 9 minutes on my camera now, so I will be here for at least 2 minutes. So we're going to come and have a look at so Monday it's open 9:30 till 5. Tuesday it's closed. Wednesday 9:30 to 5. So it's open like every other day during the week. Weekends it's closed. And the opening hours are 9:30 till 5. They have a defibrillator here. Ah, so this is Lincolnshire Police. I don't think I've done Lincolnshire Police before. There we go, types of ASB. I am doing none of those.
The inspector walks away without making an arrest. The cameraman announces he'll remain for at least 2 more minutes to prove a point. He explores the station's public-facing entrance, noting opening hours and a defibrillator. The station is open limited weekdays, closed weekends, and the yellow phone for 101 is out of order. He observes community information boards and antisocial behavior posters. After the heated confrontation, he's now calmly documenting exactly what any member of the public could see. Returning to lawful activity after a threat demonstrates confidence in the legal position. The inspector hasn't returned, and the clock is ticking on her 2-minute ultimatum.
Information on alcohol. Interesting. Interesting. So there we go, guys. It's been more than 2 minutes. It's been at least 5. And Inspector Blackwell has not come back out.
5 minutes pass, then 10. The cameraman continues filming informational posters and the station exterior. Inspector Blackwell has not re-emerged. He decides to stay longer to prove a point. No officer can impose arbitrary time limits on lawful activity in public. He reflects on the inspector's claim that officers were discussing confidential cases in the backyard, within earshot of neighboring residential properties. If true, that's a far more serious concern than a cameraman on public pavement. Officers complaining about being filmed while simultaneously breaching confidentiality seems inconsistent. The silence from inside the station is becoming the loudest statement of all.
So what I'm going to do is hang around and prove a point to Inspector Blackwell that they will not be putting any infringement on my rights. If I want to come and do some photography around a police station, I will. I will do so unimpeded. It's been over 10 minutes now, guys, and Inspector Blackwell's full of empty threats because she knows there's absolutely nothing that she can do legally. See here, I openly admit that police are talking about confidential cases in the backyard. How disgusting is that? And you've got, on the other side of that fence, you've got a residential property. So that'll be somebody's personal backyard, and they're having confidential conversations about cases in the backyard here. Shocking. Well, there we go, guys. I think we've well established that Inspector Blackwell is full of shit, full of empty threats, absolutely nothing she can do.
Over 15 minutes have now elapsed since the arrest threat. The cameraman openly states that Inspector Blackwell is full of empty threats because she knows there's no legal basis to act. He criticizes her attempt to impose a 2-minute time limit and accuses her of letting ego drive the interaction. He points out the absurdity of threatening arrest for activities that haven't met any criminal threshold. De-escalation means walking away when no offense exists. The inspector did that part correctly, even if the initial threat was legally unsound. The interaction is winding down, but the broader questions about training and proportionality remain sharp and unresolved.
And yeah, tried throwing around her precious little ego to assert some sort of authority over the member of the public that she doesn't have. How the hell she ever made it to Inspector, I don't know. Making threats of arrest for things that I haven't met the threshold for. She's absolutely delusional. Absolutely delusional. So thinking that she's going to give me a 2-minute time limit on how long I can stand here and film. She must be mental. Stamford police station, full of staff that are scared of people with cameras, and the inspector's just got a very fragile ego, and obviously clearly just didn't like being told no. As soon as she started making shit up to try and get me on anything, and I mean anything she could. What a tyrant. There we go, guys, until the next one.
The cameraman wraps up, having stayed well beyond the inspector's arbitrary deadline. He summarizes Stamford police station staff appeared scared of a camera, and Inspector Blackwell's fragile ego led to baseless threats when told no. He calls her a tyrant for inventing legal justifications to stop lawful activity. 3 key takeaways emerge naturally here. First, filming from public areas is generally lawful, and signage restricting access matters only where you physically cross that boundary. Second, arrest threats require reasonable grounds that a specific offence threshold is met. Feelings of discomfort typically don't qualify.